I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house or the house burns down. I'm a man of ambition. I don't need friends. I'm not a traitor to my class. I am just an extreme example of what a working man can achieve. We're not a gang. We're a family. There is no rest for the wicked. You can change what you do, but you can't change what you want. You can either accept the past or change it. Family is a weakness. We can't be weak. I've made my bed, and I'll lie in it, but I'll do it my way. I've been thinking about what you said. And I've been thinking about your neck. You've got to know what you're prepared to kill, and what you're prepared to die for. In this world, everything is a fight. The only way to guarantee peace is through violence. Everyone's a whore, Grace. We just sell different parts of ourselves. To change something, you've got to be prepared to destroy it. We're not murderers. Well, maybe that's what we are. I don't believe in ghosts, but they believe in me. You can't change a man's nature with a few paragraphs of print. You don't run the streets, we do. Sometimes, a man will tell his bartender things he'll never tell his doctor. When you're dead already, you're free. It's a funny thing. In the end, you always go back to the people who were there in the beginning. All religion is a foolish answer to a foolish question. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman. You can't FK with the Peaky Blinders. It's not a good idea to look at me like that. People have been murdered for less. There is a lot of good business in this city. And a lot of bad business. You need to decide which side you're on. I like to know what I'm up against. I learned long ago to hate my enemies, but I've never loved one before. No fighting in here, this is the war room. The future is our business. You can get farther with a kind word and a gun than you can with just a kind word. I've got plans for this place. Big plans. Everyone is a whore, Grace. We just sell different parts of ourselves. There is a difference between being scared and being prepared. I don't mind danger. It's the company that makes me anxious. The Shelby name must mean something. We're going back. Back to Small Heath. From this moment forward, you are Shelby. And Shelbys stick together. When you plant something, it means you anticipate something going wrong. You're not a whore, Grace. You're my queen. Do I have traitor written across my forehead? The Shelby family is a business. And in business, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you take. I want to know what the truth is. This place will become a part of you. We're not the Peaky Blinders if we run from a fight. No one's going to hang us. We're going to hang ourselves. I've lived through the war. You think I'm scared of this? Never underestimate a man with a fresh haircut. In this very room, it's just me and you. And the rest of it is all in our heads. I'm not a traitor to my class. I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house or the house burns down. I don't want to be a man who's good at war. I want to be a man who's good at creating peaceful things. I've been to the edge and looked over. I am spending the rest of my life on my knees, with my hands in the air. You can change what you do, but you can't change what you want. Everyone's a whore, Grace. We just sell different parts of ourselves. I don't think you understand the position you're in, son. I think you're out of your depth. Men like us, Mr. Campbell, we don't need to prove ourselves. We're born brave. The enemy isn't listening. So why would I? It's not the drinking that's the problem, it's the company. You never learn anything by talking. This is a business, not a social club. We're not a family, we're a corporation. No fighting on the premises. This is a betting shop, not the Bolshoi ballet. Everyone's got a past. The past does not equal the future. I like the bleakness of the moors. A man can think out there. The only way to guarantee peace is through fear. I don't gamble, I take calculated risks. The only way to ensure a secret is to keep it to yourself. There's a lot you don't understand about my world. I'm not a politician. I'm a businessman. I'm not a sentimental man, Mr. Gold. Ambition can be a killer. I find violence soothing. You put a bullet in that bastard's brain, that's your salvation. I always find that violence brings clarity. Everyone has a weakness, and a weakness is always taken advantage of eventually. In this world, everything is governed by balance. There's what you stand to gain and what you stand to lose. We are going to find a way to make it right. There is God, and there are the Peaky Blinders. There's no rest for people like us, Arthur. We're animals. Our instinct is to kill. We're all the fucking same in the end. A man may change his stars, but not his nature. We're going to win, but to do that, you have to be prepared to die. The future is there, looking back at us, trying to make sense of the fiction we will have become. I'm not a monster. I'm ahead of the curve. You can change what you do, but you can't change what you want. You bought the house on a bet? I am not a good man. I am not a bad man. But I am a man. I'll tell you one thing, Grace. You never lose a war if you're fucking your enemy. It's not a question of saving my soul. I sold mine a long time ago. It's the ones who love you the most who can hurt you the deepest. Everyone's got to die sometime, Red. I have a dream for the future, Grace. And in my dream, you are there. I'll tell you about a dream I have. A dream I've had since I was a child. You want to know how I'm going to take revenge? I'm going to take revenge by taking what's rightfully ours. You made your own luck, right? You can do what you like, as long as you don't expect me to forgive you. A man, if he's man enough, can salvage his dignity, even in the hardest circumstances. Spent my whole life doing business with bastards, so I speak the same language as them. I'm not a traitor to my class, I am just an extreme example of what a working man can achieve. The only way to guarantee peace is to have the biggest stick. You can change what you do, but you can't change what you want. Men and women of power do not have the luxury of a conscience. I'm a man of ambition. That's what they call a man who refuses to accept that what exists is all that there is. We're not a family, we're a corporation. I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house or the house burns down. We're going to London and we're taking it over. I know that you, like me, are ambitious. Well, ambition's just a dirty word around here, so we'll call it a cause. Sometimes violence is a creative act. I want to be the man who controls the sinews of the world. I've been shot, stabbed, poisoned, and hunted across the moors. But, it turns out you can walk from the south of France to the north of Africa, across the Mediterranean, through the desert and still be an idiot. We're going to win by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his country. I never run from my enemies. I walk very slowly and never look back. To a man with a hammer, everything looks like a nail. We are not scared of you or the police. I am only scared of God. It's not the first time a man's been killed in my office. Do you know what the problem with ambition is? It can be like setting a dog on a rabbit. It just mangles everything in its path. The Peaky Blinders are no longer a family. We're a business. People like you always want credit for something they've done. For me, the art is in the doing, not the recognition. I'm a political leader, not a gangster. The first lesson a man learns is not to fuck with the Peaky Blinders. I've lived through the war. It doesn't scare me. We're outlaws. We're all outlaws. And however much we might dream of it, none of us can change our destiny. People who spend their lives avoiding death are already dead. I find that a stiff drink and a long, hard fuck helps a man overcome most things. I never wanted to be a man who looked over his shoulder, but I am now. We're not criminals. We're communists. I don't pay for advice. A lot of people pay me for it. The noose is already tied, it just needs a neck to hang from. Everyone's a whore, Grace. We just sell different parts of ourselves. You can change what you do, but you can't change what you want. You can't change the past, but it's the past that can change you. There's God, and there are the Peaky Blinders. Everyone's a bad man, Grace. It's just that some people try to do something about it. I have a machine gun. But at the moment, I'm kind of partial to the idea of cutting your throat. I want to fight the ones who aren't afraid. There's a war coming, and we're going to win. To be free, you have to be powerful. I'll tell you one thing about the wicked, they're consistent. I'm a different man now. I'm not a betting man, but I'll give you odds of 2 to 1 that I will kill you before this war is over.